So what if your phone could be like paper, like an e-reader, and on top of that be easier on your eyes and be much more friendlier? Well, that's what the new TCL phone does. The TCL NXTPAPER 60 Ultra. It's an amazing phone that is definitely a bit different, but I'm gonna dive deep into this and see why anyone would actually buy this, and is it worth maybe just like switching from an iPhone to this new TCL phone, and to a phone that is usually not made by this company, by TCL, since they usually make TVs and stuff. So is there maybe one of their first phones? Is it really good, or is it really not worth the hype? So let's dive in this video and get started. So the NXTPAPER display is very big, a 7.2-inch display. So it's actually bigger than like an iPhone 16 Plus or an iPhone 16 Pro Max. Much bigger, 0.3 inches bigger. Doesn't sound like much, but when you're holding it, it's very big. So just right off the bat, very big phone. But there's some 7 key characteristics that make the display like very nice and very paper-like. It actually uses natural light via circular polarized light. It also has 0 flickers, a blue light reduction screen, so it doesn't put like damaging blue light into your eyes, especially when you're going to sleep. Also has a reflection-free matte finish, so almost no reflections, just like paper. It's anti-glare. Also has a very dim light, all the way down to only 2 nits, which is amazing. If you're completely in the dark and then you want to read or something, you can put it completely down to 2 nits, which is just enough to lightly read, especially if you want to go to sleep like 10 minutes after. You don't want that huge like white light shining into your eyes. And it has nano matrix clarity and then true paper restoration. Just a few more terms just to like characterize your screen, how like paper like it is, and very clear, very like reflection free. And when you're just looking at the phone, it feels much more like looking at a book with 0 reflections, very clear. The writing is like kind of like books, and it feels just like holding and reading and looking at like a book more than an actual smartphone. But it does still perform like an actual smartphone. It has a lot of AI features. It comes with a stylus just for maybe writing down stuff if you need to, just like paper. And then also has a max ink mode, which is literally just like a Kindle. It goes on, it's like 100% low power mode. All it does is like focus on reading and like completely simple tasks. This can last you probably like tens of hours of battery life, maybe even 100 using this mode. And the specs are very good. It has 12 gigabytes of RAM and up to 512 gigabytes of storage. So that's pretty much like an average smartphone. Very good for something like that. 5200 mAh battery, and then also 33 watt fast charging. And it has a triple rear camera with it recording like 4K at 30 FPS, and the front camera records 2K at 30 FPS, which is both very good. Obviously if you're getting this phone, you don't want like a full camera phone, which is still very good for something like an e-reader. And the cameras still have all the main features like an ultra wide camera. It also has a periscope camera and a 3x zoom. And it comes with Android 15 and promises like 3 years of software updates, which is not very good compared to like iPhone and Galaxy, which both come with like 5 to 7 years of updates. So updates not the best. Also for availability, it's actually not coming to the US, which is very sad since it's an amazing phone. So if you do want it in the US, you're gonna have to buy it, come back to the US with it, and then set it up in the US, which will be a long process, especially getting it there. It might be more expensive in another country, and then bring it back and setting it up will be pretty long process. But just the quick benefits of this technically e-reader: it's very easy in the eyes. So if you want like your first phone for your kid or something, you can obviously get this. It's gonna be easy on the eyes. And then it can perform as like a Kindle. You can literally read on this, and you can transform it into like e-ink mode, which it will go like completely black and white. And then you can go in max ink mode, which you can only use it for like simple tasks, and it'll just turn into an e-reader essentially. And it is a very creative phone. It promotes creativity with like the stylus, and then the more like e-reader type of phone promotes like reading and stuff and drawing with a stylus. for the value, it's a very good price. It starts at only 500 euros. And if you're wondering, that's also around $500. And then the more storage, 512 gigabyte, comes only 550. So very good price. And just a quick comparison with the Galaxy S25 and the iPhone 16. Both of these phones use like OLED displays, which are much more harder on the eyes rather than like something like this paper kind of like screen. And the NXTPAPER also comes with the pen. Unlike the Galaxy and the iPhone only sports, I think, the Apple Pen, which I think you can purchase with like the iPad. I'm not even sure if it works with the phone or not, but the Galaxy S25 you have to purchase separately, while the NXTPAPERs does come with the actual phone, which is nice. Now for software updates, Apple and Samsung both do promise like 5 to 7 years of updates, while NXTPAPER and TCL only do like 3 years of updates, which is not very good if you want to keep this phone for like some time, since you're not going to be getting those regular software updates. And obviously for cameras and just raw performance, Galaxy and iPhone will definitely outperform the NXTPAPER in these categories, since obviously they have better cameras, they're like built for cameras and just the raw benchmarks. But obviously, because they also have a higher price, for the price, I think the NXTPAPER is doing very good. Their price is basically like half of Apple's and half of Galaxy's, which is very good. So that's all I have to say. Definitely not as powerful or as good cameras as like the iPhone and Galaxy, but for the value of the price, it's amazing, and also very good for just e-reading and just everyday use. It'll be much easier on the eyes, and then just much easier to read on it, do other stuff on it, and much more better for the eyes since it removes the blue light. So that's it for today's video. For the value of price, it's very good. Cameras are good, and obviously the special feature of this phone, having that paper-like display, is very good. With anti-glare, it's much easier on the eyes, and it also can remove that damaging blue light. So very good value for price. Doesn't have the best benchmarks or anything, but for the value of this phone, I think it's very good. So I'll let you decide if you want to buy this phone instead of like an iPhone. I would prefer iPhone, but for somebody who's getting their first phone and they just want something easy on the eyes, or maybe if they're a student and they want to read a lot of stuff or just take notes on it, very good for that too. But that's it for me, and I'll see you next one. Bye for now. YouTube Pro out.